Hi guys, welcome to another 2-minute devotion with Dad. Again, just going through this different view so I can show you something on my phone screen shortly. So we're here in Matthew 23, and I just wanted to show you something which is quite interesting, and it's quite cool actually. So Jesus has just finished shutting down his critics, and then we move on. Then Jesus said to the crowd and his disciples, the teachers of the law, religious law, and the Pharisees are official interpreters of the law of Moses. So practice and obey whatever they tell you, but don't follow their example. So first of all, he's still honoring them, even though he's just totally about to denounce them and he's just shut them down in the previous page. He's still saying, look, you've still got to honor them and do what they say, but don't do what they do. And this is why. For they don't practice what they teach. They crush people with unbearable religious demands and never lift a finger to ease the burden. Everything they do is for show. On their arms they wear extra wide prayer boxes with the scriptures verses inside, and they wear robes with extra long tassels. They love to sit at the table, at the head table banquets, and in the seats of honor in the synagogues. They love to receive special respectful greetings as they walk in the marketplaces and to be called rabbi. So they're doing it for the wrong reasons. Now, in my little notes here, prayer boxes. The pious Jews wore on their head and upper left arm a small pouch or box, a phylactery, containing written copies of the important OT commands. Now, first of all, let's go back to these commands that are being referred to. They're actually in Deuteronomy. And this is the crux of the Old Testament here. And this is what Jesus actually referred to as the greatest command. These are the commands, decrees, and regulations that the Lord your God commanded you to teach you. You must obey them in the land you're about to enter and occupy, and your children must fear the Lord as long as you live. If you obey all his decrees and commands, you will enjoy a long life. Listen closely and be careful to obey, then all will go well with you, and you will have many children in the land flowing with milk and honey, just as the Lord, the God of your ancestors, promised you. So there's reason behind these commands. It's promise. But this is what I wanted to say. Listen, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord alone. You must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your strength, and you must commit yourselves wholeheartedly to these commands that I'm giving you today. Repeat them again and again to your children. Does that sound familiar? Talk about them when you are at home and when you are on the road and when you are going to bed and when you are getting up. That's why I always try to tie these scriptural principles into what I say and do. Even my example isn't the best sometimes, but this is the reason why. Tie them around your hands and wear them on your forehead as reminders. Write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. This is the solemn commitment of the wholehearted dedication that God is calling for when he is giving these commands to Israel. Now, how did that translate into the New Testament where the Pharisees are doing all this stuff? Well, let's go across to this one here. And just quickly, this is a phylactery. That box on the head of this rabbi is an actual phylactery, and that contains the prayers, or the scriptures, as well, the important scriptures that they are supposed to be remembering. Now, if we go back here, this one here, here's another an image. So the straps on the arm and the things around the hand, that is the prayer box being tied to the hand and the arm to obey that commitment to tie them around their hands and on their foreheads. Now, if we go into this one, the definition of a phylactery is either of 2 small square leather boxes containing slips inscribed with scriptural passages and traditionally worn on the left arm and on the head by observant Jewish men and especially adherent of Orthodox Judaism. So this is where this is where it all comes from. But the sad thing is that these guys have done it for show now. because they want to be seen to be obeying the word of God or the commands. They want to be seen and acknowledged and honored and glorified for all these things. But they've just lost the plot, because even if they were seen doing this, they're not actually doing it. They're just seen going through the motions. So it comes back to the question for you and me: why do we do what we do when it comes to observing the law, or not the law these days, but obeying God's commands, obeying the word, praying, reading the Bible? Why do we do this? What's our motive? What's our heart? Because here Jesus talks about these things, unbearable religious commands. The Pharisees have brought in all these rules and stuff, and their interpretation of the law has just gotten stupid, because now it's just gone legalistic. And in the midst of all this legalism that they're imposing upon the people, they're actually not even doing it themselves. They're just showing off their supposed adherence by looking like it. But Jesus just showed them here that they actually did not know the word of God at all. And he showed them up. And they were called out and they were embarrassed by this. And that's why Jesus said, obey what they say, because they're telling the people to do all this stuff, but they're not actually doing it. So it's a really challenging one, really. It's sombering, because we need to watch our hearts, check our motives. I'm talking to myself here, because nobody wants to be guilty of hypocrisy. And that's basically what these rabbis and Pharisees were doing. So it's just, no one likes to hear this stuff. But this is the stuff that saves us from embarrassment and from being called out later, and truly being judged. And God is the only judge, really. And we do it not because we don't want to be judged. We do it because we want to be close to Him. We want to change our lives. We want to improve for the better. And hopefully the purpose of this one was just to provide a bit of context, really, some traditional background as to what that verse meant. The extra wide prayer boxes on their arms. So I'm guessing there were bigger ones on the arms, because if they were too big on the head, they would fall off or get in the way or something. I'm not sure. But we've seen an example now, and now you can visualize what this verse means. And we haven't even gone into the tassels, but it's more, everyone knows what a tassel is normally on the robes, but the phylactery, is that the word? Prayer boxes, phylactery. That's a pretty cool word I'd never seen before. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Bless you guys. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.